booming metropolis. Great men with great ideals can be separated by hundreds or even thousands of miles and still be in the same place. They can be years or even generations apart in age, and yet somehow find themselves on the exact same page. When these men join forces with the focus of reaching the same goals to obtain the same outcomes, they are not two, but one. Instead of simply adding one's common attributes to another's, they somehow tend to multiply all attributes of both. Whether from St. Louis or East Atlanta, whether from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether they are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is to truly become one. I now present to you Savage Mode.
Today, you still have a real chance to turn your dreams into reality, to make yourself into exactly what you want to be, no matter who you are or where you start from. That's why we should be doing everything we can to make the most of the opportunities that have been given to us. But I also say take care, or maybe even beware, because the stuff that really matters can get buried under everything else. The right stuff can get smothered under all the plastic and shiny metal. And what you've got becomes a little less important than what you are. I'm talking about character now. The ability to inspire yourself, that qualifies you, that gives you the right, that makes you worthy to lead others. Does it seem to you that a lot of people are succeeding these days without the benefit of a strongly developed character? It does seem that way to me sometimes, but I think some very positive signs are beginning to appear. We're starting to realize that we'd better remember what got us this far if we expect to go any farther. I think one of the sharpest distinctions between people is between the small percent who look words up in the dictionary and the overwhelming majority that don't. I looked up the word character in the dictionary. I learned the origin of the word, and then I just sat there for a minute and realized that in this case, the origin of the word just about says it all. Character is derived from the Greek word for chisel. And of course, a chisel is a sharp steel tool used for making a sculpture out of a hard or difficult material like granite or marble. And a chisel is also used for stripping away waste material from an object, stripping away stuff that might get in the way in order to get down to the essential thing, the thing that really matters. You've got to chisel your character out of the raw material of yourself, just like a sculptor has to create a statue. The raw material is always there. Everything that happens to you, good or bad, is an opportunity for building your character. Character doesn't refer to other people. It doesn't refer to having power over other people or getting other people to follow you or gaining favor with other people. Character is something that you have and that you are. You could be marooned on a desert island and your character would still be important. In fact, it would.
Yes. What's going on? Let's interrupt my man Jim Rohn there. About to hit possible target here. So should be trimming early. We've had a nice move down. So I was kind of expecting that at the open. When you get days like that of up, I mean, you don't want it to keep going up. That'll kill the rally faster than anything, man. I'm selling half right here. I'm at 1,500 shares, so I just sold 750. I didn't ring it fast enough. Fuck. That little move right there cost $40. 40 points, man. We're just trading for points. So it looks like everybody can hear me on YouTube. Let me pull it up so I can see YouTube comments.
Comes a
Little move right there. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that next star side to hit right up in there. I already plotted it before we came on. So, man, I should have waited a minute. It's funny how you can just trim and then just in time of clicking a button. Now that I've been using my pad a lot more, I told myself the other day, it's ridiculous that sometimes I'll walk away from it. And I got a hand hook on it. So like today, I was like, anywhere I go, this damn thing's coming with me. And because I have this, you can wander off in just 2 minutes wandering off. You could take a big hit. Look at this. I guess I was off on my profit zone there. Boom. It's nice though. Trading got a little choppy in the beginning. Hey, don't do the I'm not liking trading today, so you quit or leave, especially if you're paper trading and you have the time. You want to work through that stuff, man. Especially paper trading. You want to deal with as much of that crap as you can. And try to avoid being like, oh, today's not a good day. Don't say all that stuff. Today's a good day. Every day's a good day if you can trade. So we'll bring old Jimmy back on. Texas, man, that sucks.
likely be very important in that situation. But charisma wouldn't do you any good at all. Charisma requires the presence of others, while character is all about you. Character is the person you are after you've chiseled and have gotten past all the unnecessary material to what's underneath. A person of character looks within for the true source of inspiration and energy. Powerful personalities often resist delegating authority, but it's an attitude of character for a leader to refrain from making himself or herself the indispensable heart and soul of an organization. People of character are usually well loved by everyone around them, but they make it clear that their own first love is for the truth, even if it hurts. Character is the result of hundreds and hundreds of choices you may make that gradually turn who you are at any given moment into who you want to be. If that decision-making process is not present, you'll still be somebody, you'll still be alive, but may have a personality rather than a character. And to me, that's something very different. Character isn't something you were born with and can't change like your fingerprints. It's something you weren't born with and that you must take responsibility for making. You may not be able to cross the Rocky Mountains in a covered wagon, but you can still create a better life for yourself by crossing the mountains of your soul. And that may be even a greater challenge. There used to be a joke.
All right, man. So we're in the money on this. Got in right down here on the stage 1. So here's stage 4 decline. Here's the anchor point that we look for. Classic money flow pattern. Stage 4 decline. And I'm looking for the anchor point. Same thing I was talking about on that video I put on YouTube yesterday or in my story. As soon as I think I have it, I just need to be able to count to 4, place my stop. All in here is a buy. All in there is a buy zone. And then we ran and we're hit the first profit target. I usually sell half. I had 1,500 shares. You can do the math on that. And then now the next target is up a little higher, probably going to come in. I would have thought it hit sooner, but it's probably going to come in. I don't know, up in this 37.70 range. So pretty good. Nice little trade going. That's a TQQQ 1 minute. It's a triple leverage fund, man. Share. So if you caught my podcast last night, this is gold. We'll get back to that. Oh man, are we dragging here? Come on, man. Should be back. Should be back. Sometimes they should be back. Let me kill one of the streams, see if that helps. Any Chevron just bought Hess and Exxon bought PXD, expanding their acreage in the Permian Basin in Latin America. It's the biggest investments the oil companies have done since the 90s, which has been a minute, obviously. So in decades. Wow, this is not going to get going, is it? All right, give this just a second. We may have some internet issues here. I may have to just kill it. So I'll kill you. I'm going to kill Instagram next and see if that helps you too. So anyway, looking at Chevron here, I was saying if I wasn't in one, this would be the one I'm looking at. It's way below the 200-day. It's gotten hit pretty bad over this 60 or what 50-something billion investment they're doing. This is way oversold. Big bounce off. This was my buy signal right here. So if I'm a trader and I'm just trading this, then it's all pretty easy. I gotta, we're not gonna fucking participate, are we? I got a spot for a stop right in here underneath the anchor point, and we've got a pretty obvious target, which is up here at the 200. So whether I was trading options or whatever, and in the buy and hold world, that's where I would start adding shares. So nice setup. If you don't have any oil in your portfolio, I mean, I guess you're just a dipshit. I don't know what else to say. It's kind of stupid. You buy oil every day, you have it in your car every day. So if you're not spending a little time following oil stocks, I don't know, man. I guess you just like being a dipshit. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. So why is this doing? Come on, man. All right. We're going to try to kill Instagram. We're live on YouTube if you want to head over there and see if this doesn't help. Yeah, look at that. It's up helping now. Wow. I don't know how they know. All right. Might be about to get stopped out here on the
about football teams that lost every game. The coach would say, we built a lot of character this year, didn't we? As if character is something that you settle for when you haven't achieved what you really wanted. Or as if character is something that automatically develops in you as a result of adversity. I don't buy that. I don't think adversity by itself builds character. And I certainly don't think that success erodes it. You can build character by how you respond to what happens in your life, whether it's winning every game or losing every game, or getting rich or dealing with hard times.
Remember,
you build character out of certain qualities that you must create and diligently nurture within yourself, just like you would plant and water a seed or gather wood and build a
wait on the confirmation candle, man.
You've got to look for those things in your heart and in your gut. You've got to chisel away in order.
Our stop is around here. It's at break even.
Away rock in order to create the sculpture that has previously existed only.
I'm gonna move it to here.
But the really amazing thing about character is that
if that holds,
if you're sincerely committed to making yourself into the person you want to be, you'll not only create those qualities, you'll strengthen them and recreate them in abundance, even as you're drawing on them every day
let's
of
let
your
this
life.
build and then we'll talk about it.
Since ancient times, philosophers have seen it as the basis of all real achievement. This is the quality of courage. A truly courageous person is not someone who never feels fear.
All right. So when you really, one day all my equipment will work at the same time. So when we get that sell-off, that's price breaking underneath the 20-day moving average and breaking out of the stage 3. I always wait. Let's just make sure we're cooking with grease here. I always wait for confirmation. So even if that dives down, I'm not looking to sell it. I assume we're going up. I'm not looking for reasons to sell. So I wait for a confirmation. Waiting for that could cause you to lose more, but most of the time it goes up. So it's worth that patience. And our stop was right down here at break even. So I had 1,500 shares. I wrote up. I sold 750. And that locked in, I don't know, whatever it was, $90 or whatever. And then it came back down. So we're not going to lose money. So we just wait and let this thing play out. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. And there's your money flow pattern. Sideways up, sideways down. Voila. Amazing. Nothing needs to be improved on. It's perfect just the way it is.
But who fears the right thing at the right time in the right way. Now, keeping in mind our idea that a courageous person is not someone who never feels fear, but fears the right thing at the right time in the right way. Let's ask ourselves if these fears really fit that definition. I think if we look a little deeper, we'll see that what really scares people about these situations is the sense that they're going to be helpless, that all their trust was placed in somebody or something, and now they've been let down and they can't do anything. They're helpless. But remember, you're never really helpless. And the sense that you are helpless, or that you might be if certain things were to happen, is something we really ought to be afraid of, and that we should refuse to accept. You're never just a victim of circumstances. Nope.
Now, trading aggressively, maybe you add here. I didn't do that because right here we had a series of runners bust out, runners bust out, runners bust out. So today we have a pattern of that. So if we run up, great. I'm still in 750 shares here. Let's see. How much are we up? $81. So we're up $81 on this last 750. So if we can get a little back, if this thing runs, see, once it pulls back, this is what these RSIs do for you. Once it pulls back and goes under that 50, and the RSI is so cool. Once it goes under that 50 and then comes back, that can be a whole new setup, a whole new run. Nope, now we got another pull down here. Now, what I typically do, like I said, we had our stop at break even. We're not going to move that up. I'm not going to stand there and just take it. We have a new anchor point here. So right around in here would be my new stop. We're going to move it from the original anchor point. When we hit our first target, we took it from the anchor point to break even. But now that we've had this fake breakdown, and then it started to go up, we can move this from break even to right over here, which is the new anchor point. So that's our new anchor point. Damn. Oh, man. You're not listening to me, are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Why would I?
Well, you haven't bought my book, so
Do you want a pliable?
I don't think you should listen. Huh?
Do you want a pliable?
Sure. I'm live right now.
I know. Do you want chocolate on your pliable?
Chocolate. It's fruit, right?
Well, I get mine with Nutella. But do
No.
you want strawberry banana coconut or do you want banana mango pineapple coconut?
The first one.
All right,
No chocolate.
well, that one comes with chocolate.
Okay. Well, I'll take it.
Figure something else out.
I'll take it then. Oh, what's the point of fruit if you're going to eat chocolate?
Because it's chocolate. The fuck?
Oh, about to get stopped out here.
No matter what happens, you're never without options that can get you back on track. It takes courage to recognize that because it means accepting responsibility for your own future. But I would suggest that we should accept that responsibility because no one is really going to accept it for us, no matter what we may have been led to believe. Let me emphasize that underlying most fear is the fear of helplessness, of being victimized or being blown around by the winds of fate like a leaf is blown off a tree. But is that really a legitimate way of looking at things? To me, it sounds like being afraid of the dark, in which case the best thing to do is to get yourself up, out of bed, and switch on the light. After all, the people who built this country didn't feel helpless when they faced obstacles that we can hardly even imagine today. Your fears are about not living up to your ideals, about reacting instead of acting, about not taking advantage of the opportunities that are always within reach. A truly courageous person is not afraid of what might or might not happen next week or next year. He fears not making the most of every moment today. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Demosthenes went searching for an honest man, and he never found one. There was a time when telling a lie was very serious business. Lying was a very serious matter. It was also
Yeah, I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I'm about to. Just watching for just a second. Obviously taking a little risk here, but and we locked in profit on this first round. It's actually coming up on the level too, so I'm just going to give it just a second here. Now, if we get back up in this box, I'm probably at. Nice.
Very serious if you accuse someone of lying. Today, a breach of integrity in a business matter might mean calling in the lawyers. But for hundreds of years in the past, calling someone a liar was the most common way to provoke a duel. Dishonesty was treated like a personal insult that demanded immediate redress. Everyone knew the big problems that could result if you got caught, so lying to another person took a certain amount of, what's the right word? Foolish bravery, maybe. But there's no such risk today, is there? Some people lie all the time without thinking about it. Most people know when they're being lied to, which they may find irritating, but they just accept it. Maybe they decide to become liars themselves. Many people don't feel the same kind of personal responsibility about paying debts promptly.
Boom.
And today, of course, we can put off paying for our purchases as long as we can make the minimum payment on our credit card. That pain that comes with having to shell out hard cash for something, the pain of maybe having to give something up in order to have this thing.
I'm going to take a shot at adding shares
pain.
here.
It's painful in just the same way that paying a big fat bill is painful. In fact, we even use the same words to talk about paying debts and telling the truth. We may talk about somebody's word being like money in the bank. We talk about being held accountable, about having to account for yourself, about being called to account. If you've done something that you're really not proud of and you're called to account for it, what does that feel like? How do you handle it? What are your options when you've got to explain something that makes you uncomfortable? It's a bit like that moment of decision when the credit card bill comes every month. If you want to pay off the whole balance, there may be some pain and sacrifice involved. You may have to grit your teeth. You know that your life will be simpler in the long run, but it's going to hurt a little right now to pay off the new golf clubs or the new computer. Or how about the 60-foot yacht? I don't actually know if you can put a yacht on a credit card, but I've certainly known people who would if they could.
Here we go.
Gritting your teeth and paying in full can hurt. So quite often it seems easy.
All right. So hopefully we get a push up here to this 37.6. We're getting a crossover on the TSI. The MACD is saying the histogram, MACD histogram is momentum's to the upside. We got a crossover on DMI. So everything's pushing up. So right up in here where it stopped before, logical place. First RSI is on 63. So it's probably going to hit right around here. So I usually like to key it up, man, and be ready. Like we saw earlier, the slightest little mishap. Let's see. What I'm going to do is sell 625 shares. I only added 500 when I added. Come on, man. Come on, man. So we need a nice little pop here. So I'll sell 625. That pop, because we're up 152 right now on these 1,200 shares. Remember, I was down to 650. Okay, here we go. They popped on the level 2. I was at 750. I added 500 more back. Why is this not popping? It popped on the level 2. And I guess it didn't. Anyway, up about 150 on this. So hopefully we push up and we'll take 625 off, assuming it doesn't do the exact fucking opposite. Either way, our stop's going to be on this one. We now got to move it. So our stop is moved over to this anchor point. It's our anchor point, this 37.45. We're playing off of that. And if you notice, most of these, it's about a 10-point spread, man. So I'm looking for a 10-point spread, and I'm looking to take some off in that, and 10 to 15 point range and then let the rest run, you know. And then we'll get back and look at Chevron here. Dang, here we go. It's trying. It's fighting. It's fighting, man. It's fighting. It is fighting. All right. Give this a confirmation here. Oh, that sucks. Oh, man. It's right there, too, dude. Now everything's gone negative. See, the momentum changed on the histogram. Everything's turning. Goes fast, man. It goes fast on a 1 minute. This holds. Maybe we'll add and build this up. But just in case, be ready to get out. Oh, man. Well, we had a nice little pop there. Got a little trading in, ran up, hit one, took it down, made a little money. It came down. I waited a little bit there. You know, if you're a newer trader, probably not always the best idea. I'm always slow to close, though. I always give everything the benefit of the doubt. I always feel like everything's going up, man. It's one of the basic tenets of the money flow. put on shares there. Probably shouldn't have done that. And I talked about that because it's just, it's not really been a great day. So yeah, let's take this down. I don't like to do that when it's not been a great day, but also hate to come on live and then trade. It's all boring and shit. When you're at home, stay boring. That works better. Don't trade to be excited or see, we're coming right back in. And this is trading. This is the frustration, or it can be frustrating. It doesn't frustrate me. It is what it is. That's trading. Let's give this just a second. See how a lot of times you wait like that, you get back in there. Not necessarily, but sometimes it'll save a stop. And, we see the MACD starting to turn here. I'm sure on the higher time frames, we've no, look at that. On the higher time frames, it's starting to turn. All right, I'm going to be ready to get back in. We'll see what happens. Higher time frame looked pretty good there, so that's interesting, huh? Ooh, we got a doji candle now. See that? What some of you may hear me call Jesus cross. It's usually a sign of a reversal, so but not today. None of these things are foolproof. And those don't mean as much on a 1-minute chart as they would, say, on a daily chart. All right, let's get back to. So over here on Chevron, man, even though it's now below that 5 exponential, if I didn't have any Chevron, I would definitely be picking up some Chevron here, man. Just me. And as I was saying, if you're not tracking oil, something's wrong with you.
Oil and gas producers Exxon and Chevron saw profits jump in the third quarter as oil and fuel prices climbed, but remain lower year over year. Now, both companies turned to the task of closing major acquisition deals. Chevron purchasing crude oil company Hess and Exxon to buy shale giant Pioneer Natural. Both companies doubling down on investments in fossil fuels, despite warnings from the international energy agencies of declining oil demand. Let's bring in Lippau Oil Associates President Andy Lippau to get his view on the sector. Good to have you back on the show, Andy. So give us an idea on this move to have these oil mega mergers at this point in time when the demand picture still is not clear. What are your takeaways from this?
Well, good morning, Rochelle, and thank you for having me. What we're seeing is a trend of mergers continuing throughout the oil patch as these big producers are flush with cash and they're looking for places to invest it. Even though the International Energy Agency is forecasting peak oil demand by 2030, that doesn't mean that oil demand is going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah, that does not mean that at all. If we look at oil right now, that's Chevron, but look at USO. I haven't initiated one yet, but keeping a close eye on to see if this holds here. Maybe we'll get lucky and it goes down lower. But we have a tradable spot here and some upside target. So I like the setup better than I did over here. We'll see. Let's check on Tesla, PSLA. Yeah, so we're getting pullbacks here. That's what I was hoping we would have at the open. And we could fill back in toward this 20-day and we could add more shares. I mean, you don't want it to hit and just go up, 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 up. That is never good. Let's do I sold a bunch of crypto coins today. Not all of them. I just trimmed out of a bunch of coins. Whoa, we are still running, dude. So I trimmed ADA. Look at ADA here. Fuck, Cardano is flying. Oh, bam! Come on, baby. I look at Cardano, and just like that, I missed the goddamn entrance. Ah, damn, that was a fast one, though. All right, so we're in. We are in. Damn.
We have a big chance to make a run for some big bucks. 80,000 of them. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we going to do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go, and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just like no bandit run. Keep your foot hard on the pedal. Some never mind your brakes. Let it all hang out, cause we gotta run.
I'm adding shares too, by the way.
We'll bring it back no matter what it takes. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we going to do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just like a bandit run.
Thought we were going to have a shot there. That was a nice. Well, we still might. I've added 2 more times here. Playing on. This is our stage 1 entry. This is my stop. TSI's gone sideways, MACD. So, not going our way right now. Not going our way. Let's give this a second. Nice.
My shadows, shedding skin. I've been picking scabs again. I'm down, digging through my own soul's looking for a clue. I've been crawling on my belly, staring out what could have been. I've been wallowing in my own confusing, insecure delusions. But I choose to cross me over, or I must guide me in. I wanna feel the changes coming down. I wanna know what I've been hiding. My shadow, changes coming. My shadow.
All right, here we go, man. Boom. shares am I at? We're in the green now. I'm at 2,100 shares. So I'm going to say RSI is probably going to hit around this 37.55 maybe. Oh, come on, baby. All right, here we go, man. Hopefully we hit it here. It was close. 37. It looks like it's going to be 37.57 should trigger that. Shit, the way we've been trading, I'm tempted to take it down early. That's just me being a little bitch, though. But I'm tempted.
Great men with great ideals can be separated by hundreds or even thousands of miles and still be in the same place. They can be years or even generations apart in age, and yet somehow find themselves on the exact same page. When these men join forces with the focus of reaching the same goals to obtain the same outcomes,
Why does it do
they are
this?
not two, but one. Instead of simply adding one's common attributes to another's, they somehow tend to multiply all attributes. Whether from St. Louis or East Atlanta, whether from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether they are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is to truly become one. I now present to you
Here we go. Boom, baby. I'm going to hit it. Pow. Just like that. All right, locked in 90 on that. Took her share size down to 1,100. Needed the money. Damn. Come here, Uber. Uber, come here. No, Roku sounds better. Roku. That's a better dog name, Roku. Don't you think, Dan?
Yes.
Although you don't get to pick. Let's see. Come on. She doesn't get to pick. She doesn't know how to trade stocks.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Don't want to.
What's that?
Don't want to.
I know. When I die, you're going to be poor.
I won't.
Yeah, you will. You guys will all spend it on
My daily
purses and yachts and shit.
My daily and monthly costs will go down significantly.
If I'm not around,
Yeah.
your costs will, but I don't know if you're
I'll be able to easily live off of the money in the stock market that's in there. Just the dividends.
I would have said like Jess could have managed it for you. I'm sure she'll listen to this back, but she's out boating right now.
She's what? Out voting?
Yeah, instead of trading. Could have went boating at 3:00, but hey, boat away.
Like it even matters.
What do you mean matters? Doesn't matter. Fuck are you talking about? Whoa, hers is terrible. Can't even believe you just said that.
Well, I took a walk around.
Wow, that is horrible. Troubled mind.
I left my body lying somewhere in the sand.
Wow, talk about fuck a song up.
Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sand.
Wow. I think that's actually a
Are you
felony.
gonna watch you pliable, or are you gonna?
When I come off, I will. It's a felony to fuck up a good song.
Well, I took a walk
Here we go.
around to ease my
Troubled mind.
I left my body lying somewhere in the next time. But I watched the world run through the dark side of the moon. I feel there's nothing I can do. Yeah.
At least that guy didn't fuck it up. We're about to hit this, man. This is about to go. I want to hit this one, then I'll get off here. But part of that is the patience of the game, man. It's a game of patience and setting your targets and waiting till your the indicators come up and hit. And just waiting. This is exactly the same on a if this was a day chart, look, I mean, this is, stage 1, 2, 3, got a little choppy in here. It's a grade down back into a stage 1. Now we're running up into a 2. The previous zone, the previous stage 3s and shit become targets. I mean, this is exactly the same as on a daily. So as you spend time with this,
about 2.25%. Chevron shares down by about 2.9%. Merger Monday, as Joe just mentioned. Take a look at what's been happening here. Chevron buying Hess in an all-stock deal that's valued at $53 billion. That's $171
Here we
a
go.
share, and I think that's a pretty.
All right. So this is a decision here. It didn't pull back to the. I usually like it to pull back some. And we already trimmed once. I'm going to trim a little more just because this has not been playing our way today. And we are hitting the RSI. Let me see how many shares I got. All right. I'm down to 1,100. God damn it. I missed my spot there. I wasn't going to trim much if I did. See how fast that happened, though? We really didn't. Still could here. I already did half, so I don't want to do half, but I still got 1,100 shares. So, this is where we can just use a little intuition, a little skill, practice, talent, like you've been doing it for a minute. I had a lady DM me yesterday. Apparently, our brother's in prison. He used to be a trader. She wanted me to send my book to him in prison. And I said, well, you can order it and you could send it to him. And then she was saying that he thought she would be a natural, like she'd just be naturally good at day trading. Like, well, your brother's a dipshit. Because I ain't met many people who are just naturally good at something like this. Just the audacity of acting like she was acting like it would be easy. It's like, well, then buy the book and get on it. But I don't think you're natural at all. I think you suck at it, and it's going to take you a while, and you're going to have patience and learn all that good stuff. All the stuff you probably don't want to do. And I'll have people every once in a while tell me that. I'll be like, well, what you're doing, this is really hard. It's going to take a long time. And yeah, most people can't do it. And he's like, well, it's not a very positive attitude. I'm not trying to be fucking positive. I'm trying to tell you the fucking truth, bro. This is not easy. It's going to be hard. You probably don't have the patience or the wherewithal to stick with it, because most people don't. Most people fucking quit. That is just the reality of life. Most things that you bought, you've quit. Most courses, most books you bought, you haven't finished reading. That is just human nature. And, if that chick was a natural, she'd already be doing it. And wouldn't be going, oh, here we go. Wouldn't be going back and forth with me. Would just be I wouldn't have to tell you to buy the book. You would have already bought the book because you're a natural and you're thinking like that. I don't know if Mike's still on here today. We were talking a little bit up in our little group there about, why would you do some things you don't want to do or whatever, like things you shouldn't do. And it's a lot of it, man, it just comes down to what's your highest value. Knowing you should do something is not a reason to do it. Like that doesn't, like everybody knows they should do this or that. It doesn't mean it's a value to you. Doesn't mean it's valuable to you. So we all serve our highest value every day, whatever that may be. And you can still know, like, oh, I know I need to lose weight. That doesn't mean you're going to do it because it's not a value to you. The moment is the highest value, then that is what you will do. And so here we go. Bam. So see how we worked off this RSI by being down there? I'm going to trim just 200 just because I fucked it up earlier. And now we're down to 900. So whatever that thing is that you'll do for free, whatever that thing is that no one has to tell you to do, whatever that thing is you don't have to set notes for, whatever that thing is you hold in your mind without thinking about it, whatever that thing is you don't have to be paid to do, whatever that thing is, you'll just fucking do it because you're awake and you're around and you tend to do it. That is the thing that's the highest of value to you. So all you got to do is, if you can figure out a way to replace that with other, with things that are going to be helpful. For me, I began to trade stocks for a hobby, for fun, for something to do. I knew I needed to invest. That's what I was doing in real estate. But I did the stocks because everybody's like, hey, man, there's more to life than working. And I like to gamble. And I figured this was healthier because I had children doing this, taking some down, than it was, playing poker all night at a casino or something. And so stocks became my hobby. And it was some shit I'll do free, man. I'll sit around, work on new ideas. I'll paper trade it on. Buy and hold, swing trades. I do everything just because I find it fucking interesting. If you don't find it interesting, you're not going to be a good trader. If you don't find investing interesting. So it's usually when I'm talking to them, like people like, oh, I need to get in crypto. The reason most people don't make money in crypto is you don't actually give a fuck about crypto. You're just trying to make some money. And so as soon as like here, as soon as it's not going up, they don't want any. Now, if you follow the money flow, this is ADA. Look at all these stage 1 buys, man. Stage 1, stage 1, stage 1, stage 1. And then now look at its rip, dude. So, I mean, if you follow the money flow, it trades crypto just fine. So I've been trimming all of my crypto coins this morning. Just raising cash. Still going to let them run. I'm just trimming 20% across the board on not Bitcoin, though. I'm probably going to roll that trim maybe into Bitcoin. I don't know. Had a pretty large position in Dogecoin, so that was been nice. DOT. My biggest one was, Engine here, and then XRP. And then Sol. We put SOL on as a swing trade, and that one's just gone straight up, dude. Look at Mana. 28 cents to 40. That's almost 100% in 2 weeks. God, look at Matic. Hell yeah. I got to contact the professor, man. He's in a lot of money right now. All right, boom. Hit it again while I'm over here bullshitting. Damn it. Well, I guess I didn't miss it. It wasn't official yet. All right, making some money. Points, SEC, just points. Illuminati, FBI, just points, just for entertainment, just for fun. Points. Let's see. Dude, we are kicking butt right now.
Pretty low premium, 4.9% of a premium over the closing price for Hess on Friday. Hess shares right now are up by about 2.25%. Chevron shares down by about 2.9%. And this deal comes just weeks after ExxonMobil made its move to buy Pioneer Natural Resources. As you can see, both these stocks on the move, as we just mentioned. Hess CEO John Hess is going to be joining Chevron's board. We've got a lot more details on this. In fact, I just got off the phone with Mike Wirth, the CEO there, asking about what happened with some of these numbers. Very low premium on this. They've been talking for more than 6 months. He said this goes back since long before any of the rumors came out about ExxonMobil and Pioneer, that deal that actually went through last week. And a lot of people thought after that deal that maybe Chevron would be looking for something else in the Permian Basin, that was what was kind of on play.
Back to where we're talking about highest value. I mean, the single most important thing in my life is trading. That doesn't mean other things aren't important. And sometimes when people order things like that, they somehow think they're doing something wrong, or they're supposed to say their children, or they're supposed to say God, or supposed to say their whatever thing is over there, right? But that doesn't mean those things aren't, as important or super important. But typically people will put everything else ahead of it. They'll put a vacation, they put everything, cars, everything. And then they'll say, well, man, I'd really like to do that. And it's like, yeah, but you spent all your money on other things. So what you're saying is bullshit. You actually don't want to do it or you would have done it. And so if you haven't done it, it's because you're full of shit and you're lying to yourself. At some point, if you just say that out loud, maybe that's what'll correct yourself, is you'll be like, wow, I really am kind of full of shit. And I really am kind of lying. Most people are. And that's okay. And sometimes we lie to ourselves. You just got to work on it until you figure it out. And you got to figure out how to work it in. I never know what to say, man. I worked part-time. I ran a business on the side. I had kids. I bought rental properties, got 17 properties, trade almost $1 million in the market, trade every day. I did all that stuff that everybody's doing. It was just my priority. The reason I went to work was to get money to buy houses and trade. The only fucking reason. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't pay bills, but I start with the premise that the reason I am here is to get money to do this, nothing else. And then I would, serve that first, and then everything goes downhill. So like today, I put $220 something in the stock market. I didn't look to see if I needed to pay some other bill or do something else. We'll figure that out. I mean, I don't know what to say. Now I can do that with 200 and I know I can, but I didn't go look or make sure or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like that's first. And then I go, and if I do have to pay something, well, fuck, I got to figure it out. I got to move this and move that, but I'm not moving and doing all that to get money into the market. It's the other way around. That's what Rich Dad, Poor Dad's all about. The restructure of things. And so it's like, for me, you know, once I got that concept, for me, it was like the reason I worked at the prison was so that I could have a W-2 so that I could acquire properties. So that I wouldn't need to work there, you know. But if you approach it as like, well, this is my career, I'm going to be here a long time, blah, blah, blah. Then what happens is people just drag that shit out forever and never actually get anything going. Let's see. Oof, we're breaking it right in here in this little box we're in. And usually if you have problems like getting a spouse on board, there's something wrong with you. There's some reason they're not supporting that. Like you've done something usually. Like you've given them some reason to.
So a lot of those stocks have moved ever since. He said it wouldn't really make sense for them because he pointed out that they have more acreage in the Permian Basin than ExxonMobil will have even after.
This is about Guyana or something?
Yeah, this is about Guyana. They have right now 2.2 million acres in the Permian, and after the ExxonMobil deal with Pioneer, they will have 1.6 million acres. He said it just wouldn't make a lot of sense to be doubling down there. Guyana is the big thing that you mentioned, but that is a really unique asset. John Hess, we know pretty well. You know, he's come on over the years.
Many times.
And this is a big deal. I also ask, why are you doing this with all stock instead of with cash? Because they have so much cash on hand. The Exxon deal last week was half cash, or a little bit more than half cash by the time they went through. This is a situation where he said, look, they don't like to do deals in cash because oil prices move so much when you're dealing with commodity. If it's at $90 now, if it went down to $60, you look like you've overpaid for it, and the other side looks like it's sold at a dumb price if it goes up significantly.
Or this is like overpriced cats for overpriced dogs. Yeah.
But then I asked him too if this has to be a tax situation too for John Hess, because I think the Hess family, between their trusts and things, on something like 8%.
Here we go.
Around that. The stock. It's a much more tax advantageous deal to do it in a stock transaction for something like that too.
It's like one share. It's like share for share.
Yeah.
1.02.
If you own Chevron and Exxon, you haven't looked into that deal, man, look into it. If you catch my podcast for Sunday night, I talk a little bit about it. That podcast, let me show you guys something. Update failed. Really? Let's see here. Oh, real quick, let's look at gold. I had not trimmed gold. If gold breaks this little box, I am going to trim it. I was giving it room that this stage 3, when we see it, stage 1, 2, 3, I was hoping this would turn into a 1 and we would run up to the next target. But I'm giving it a little room here. Back to we're starting to come. Damn it. Oh, here we go. Let me see how many shares I got here, man. I'm up kind of nice. I hate to give any. There we go. Boom. All right. What do I got? All right. I'm going to sell 200 shares here. Oh, fuck. All right. So I'm down to nice. That bumped us up to $182. Damn. There we go. Hell yeah, I got filled at 37.71. So see, that time it worked to my advantage, fucking around with the buttons. And we're hitting the second RSI. Yeah, baby. Here we go. I'm going to trim another, what are we at? I'm going to trim 50. We're down to 500 from, well, what did we start with? 1,500 or something? Man, this has been a nice one. Woo! Here we go. Hell yeah. Nice.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound up.
Rock on, bandit, run.
Old Smokey's got them ears on. He's hot on your trail. He ain't gonna rest till you're in jail. So you got the dodging, you got the ducking, you gotta keep that diesel trucking. Just put that hammer down and give it here. Eastbound and down,
Loaded up and trucking.
are we gonna do what they say
So
can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound up, watch on bandit run.
Well, man, I'm kind of thinking we should just end there on a positive note, man. I feel good. I'm glad we made some money here instead of losing. Actually, pretty good little run. We caught in over here, running up, caught it. Had a little whipsaw action in there. Remember, came back down, got stopped out, got back in. Talked about being patient, not getting frustrated. Don't get frustrated, man. Don't be like, oh, today sucks. Don't do that. Don't do that. What you should do is like, cool, man. I hope it's fucking hard. I hope we fucking lose money. Fuck these money. Like, that's my attitude. But then I look at like, okay, I want to, as quickly as I can, try to catch on to what is happening. And if we're kind of caught in an area, like, think on that, because that's how you develop intuition, is tape reading. If you don't spend time on charts, you're not going to develop intuition. So I'm going to watch every tick of this today. Okay. So imagine if you've done that for a long time. Like, other people, they cannot trade as good as you. Like, you just can't. I hear these people talk about the 30 minutes a day on the thing. And it's like, I don't know what they're talking about. That is not what I do. But it's also like me and Mike were talking about earlier. It's my highest value, man. I mean, I love chart time. I love spending time on the computer. I mean, all that stuff. I love it. So it's not like, you got to get me to do other things, man. Let's see. Oof, man, I doubt we're going to get above all of this here, because we got a nice shit show in here. It's like a big zone here. Maybe we do. All right, I'll let you go, or I'll sit here all day and just trade. I've been doing that with some people, man. We've been live trading together. If you want to book a one-on-one to do that, we can do that instead of, talking whatever. Sometimes we do both, man. We talk about their situation and their traders, and we sit there and they're on their charts, I'm on mine. That's easier to me than trying to both watch the same charts, because then I can't talk and do their situation and plot the thing and do the charts and run the damn, like, it's too much. But if I'm just looking at charts, you're looking at them, and that's a little different. If that's something you're interested in, man, just hit my link. Cool. See how we do, man. I'm on the road tomorrow back to Texas, heading my Texas compound. I got 4 open rental properties. 4 of them, man. That's 4 fucking mortgages not coming in. 4 of them. It's like 4 G's. So I got to get these houses up and fixed, because we are going the wrong way on them. Man, crypto is flying. What a beautiful, beautiful thing here. I am so glad I stayed on. All right, man. Peace out. Peace out.